Hello everybody, this is Compound-Interest Stockguy. Today in this video we're going to just be talking about investments right now and just market summary from my perspective, so stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the red below, hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a video, hit that thumbs up, boom boom boom, boom 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 boom. Give it a thumbs down. If you dislike it, that's fine. Share the video with friends and family. I want to disclose, not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment and information purposes. Do not buy or sell based on anything I talk about. Buy or sell after you did your own research, due diligence, in like the investments you're pursuing. Alright, so things are really messed up. So I mean, there's really no economy going right now. You got Walmart, you got Amazon selling stuff. I mean, there's some companies like Wayfair, I guess, that are doing good. You got Beyond Meat, I guess, that are kind of excelling right now. But it's just basically like the weather outside. It's just raining and raining. All the bad news just keeps compounding on everything. Oh, it's just wild. I think some of the cannabis companies are doing pretty good, especially True Leaf and Valens, and Cannabis probably doing pretty good. But I mean, their costs are just very high, so I'm not bullish on them. But now I was talking about uranium. So Kamenko was at $15.50 and it's coming down, so the price of uranium spot hasn't gone down, so that's not really a concern, but it just kind of needed to pull back. So I could see it go to the low 13s or 14s. Now if the price of spot goes down, I mean, it could go even lower than that. It could go down to 11 or 12 Canadian, but I like it for a uranium play. I mean, when uranium's gonna go to $40 or $50, Kamenko's gonna rock it. So that's why I got some calls out till the end of early January. So $15 strikes. Yeah, I mean, it's just really wild. Copper has been coming up a little bit. It was at about like 2.35 a pound. Platinum came down, was at about 760. Gold's at around 1695. So I mean, they're using a lot of debt, right? So a lot of debt issuance in the States is just exploding on debt. So it's a very wild system. All that money's just supporting companies such as Apple, Microsoft, Facebook. So, I mean, on any dips, I think those are your go-to stocks. Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, AMD, all these 5G and big technology companies. As far as, I had a friend I've known a while. I got him into Cannabis growth at $8. And then he sold it at like 15 or something like that. And he was asking me about dividend stocks, so I gave him a list. You got like Nutrien and Fortis and Starbucks and ExxonMobil. So there's all these ones that are different dividend. I'm not that interested in dividend stocks right now. I just want to make money, to be honest. This economy doesn't make any sense. So Suncor, I don't know what it is today, right? But they sell Canadian Select, right? So WTI crude is at about $24. So it was at -$dollars for the contracts, and now it's up to $24 a barrel. So that is very good. The bond rates have gone up too. a little bit, but people who I value above me think 1% needs to be for the bond for the 10-year yield. So gonna watch that with and the market's just very, very wild. But crude's got a limit on the daily on the Bollinger is about $40. So if it goes up above that, I mean, we'll see. But you know, Suncor has a lot of debt, and they're selling Canadian Select, which sells for like $5 to $15 cheaper than crude WTI. So, and they have a lot of general and administration expenses. So they're really not prospering until it's like about $40 to $50 a barrel. They say it costs them about $22 a barrel when they had their Fort Hills project. So like adding that all in, it was like a blend rate of $22 a barrel. So when they're only getting, say, maybe like $10 or $5 a barrel, a while back they were getting like $3, or you know, I'm sure they were taking negative. So, but they have upgraders too, so they do different products, so they're a little bit insulated as far as just the crude barrel. But I'm not bullish on them. I think they should have gone down. That's why I bought a put contract from April to May, but that never went in the money for a $15 USD strike. But now I think they released their financials a few days ago. Then it'll show that, you know, it's not good. So for oil companies, I think you gotta only look at ExxonMobil, XOM, or Chevron CVX, and you gotta get a good price, whether you're getting contracts, a call contract, a little bit out of the money for like 6 to 12 months. That may work if you're betting on oil going up a lot in that time frame, or if you just own it. Those companies have decent dividends, so if you want to play the oil market, I recommend those two companies. I don't talk about just little split blat zero companies that mean nothing. I talk about the biggest and the best, just because I understand that the economy right now is a monopoly economy. It only cycles towards the 1% of companies, right? The top companies in the Dow or the S&P 500, really. I mean, in other industries, commodities, I mean, they get some volume, like Freeport McMoran for copper and gold. FCX gets a lot of volume some days, like up to $150 million in volume. That's really what I look at, you know? When you're looking at stocks, companies like United Health, like UNH, it's like at $293, like that gets a lot of volume. And I don't know, I think there might be a little bit of a pullback on the SPY coming maybe the end of the week, and then that'll give gold a time to shine. But what am I hearing is that now there's some mines coming back online, so there's going to be a little more gold production, so that'll just alleviate the scarcity of gold to some extent, right? Especially when industry isn't super hot. So I mean, you use gold in industry, right? It's an electronics, so for electronic conductivity. So silver, I like silver for bars. I like PAAS, but I don't know. I'm hearing from Katusa Research, Marion Katusa, that basically with these silver mines, that basically, or gold mines, that's what happened to Barrick Gold, is that countries can kind of take over and cause like problems for the company, right? So because there's so much debt, and countries that have negative credit swaps that they may be forced to, you know, be so bankrupt the country that they're gonna, you know, hostile take over companies' mines and nationalize them to add to their balance sheet. So in certain jurisdictions that can be a problem. I mean, if you look at the big scheme of things, I mean, what's happening towards USA is it's essentially being like nationalized, right? Boeing just got $50 billion, I think it was from the government. They said they didn't want to get it from the government. I don't know the details, but they're just, some of these companies are getting so much money. The world's very wild. You should look into George Orwell, 1984. Look into a movie that was about to come out called Gray State. And the director was killed. And it explains what's kind of going on in USA. People, for nickname, they call USA, USSA, the Soviet of America. So, I mean, we're getting very intense with all these, you know, people just start bending over, you know. They want to take people's guns in Canada now. They want to be able to search people's homes. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that was before what happened towards in Nazi Germany, where they went after the Jews, you know. It was a slow creep to that way, but that's really, I don't know, I'm just putting it out there. Anyways, I got more information coming up. I hope you appreciated this value. If you haven't hit that like, hit that like. We've been talking about uranium. We've been talking about all these commodities, talking about the biggest S&P 500 companies, and explaining, in my opinion, what's going on in the economy. So, if you're new, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I'm very valuable for research, and I've done insane amounts of research. So, anyways, until next time, keep compounding your info, listen to my lingo, and shaka, cut peace. I'm Audi 45.